Yes, that is a deflated balloon behind me, but ignore that because whilst this might be a representation of the community's emotions right now, I think we just need to sit down and talk about what's happened, man. I'm not going to lie to you. Seeing all the negativity in the zombies community over the last week has been really draining mentally because I love this game. I'm sure all of you guys watching also love Call of Duty Zombies. And if we didn't care about this thing, we wouldn't be so passionate about it. And there is no wrong way to go about your passion towards something, whether you think of it as being a good thing or you've got some negative things to talk about. There's obviously a reason why you're talking about it. It's because we love this damn game mode. And if you guys didn't recall, yesterday was the 10th anniversary of Call of Duty Zombies inception. 10 years ago, Treyarch launched World at War with Nakhda and Toten. And from there, the Zombies mode has just absolutely blown up in scale over the years to be the behemoth that it is now with the community that we have now. And without Treyarch, we wouldn't have this game mode. We wouldn't have this die-hard community. And I wouldn't have one of my favorite game modes of all time. I would have made a YouTube channel if it wasn't really for Treyarch. I wouldn't know what I'd be doing, and I'm sure a lot of you guys as well wouldn't have such great memories with this amazing game mode. And it's just a shame that over the last week, there's been several things that have cropped up, mainly from errors on Treyarch's behalf, which have just tarnished this community a bit and tarnished the feelings of our excitement and love for this zombies mode. And I wanted to talk about it in this video. It's slightly ranty, but also slightly just expressing how I feel. Now, I have spoken about my thoughts on the Treyarch blue screen issues in a video a few days ago, but I never made a specific video talking about it, as at the time, I didn't think it was inherently necessary for me. But it's important now from all of the feedback that the community has said that, you know, the big YouTubers are the voices of the community, and what we say does have some effects on what happens. And Milo's been a big person in getting some things done within the community when it comes to Treyarch being a lot more open and honest when it comes to just the raw, gritty details of what they're changing in these patch notes. Because I, for one, have been really frustrated when patches have come out and Easter egg steps have changed and there was no real explanation on why they were changed. Just stuff like that would be really helpful. But alas, I'm going on a tangent here. Now, yesterday, one of the biggest things ever happened in the zombies community that's negatively impacted people's viewpoints on Treyarch and the zombies mode as a whole. And for the 10th anniversary, that is probably the worst thing we could ever imagine happening. I was hoping that we might get some sort of special video message or perhaps just like a montage of things from Treyarch to celebrate the amazing content they've created for the fans of Call of Duty Zombies over the years. But unfortunately, the complete opposite happened. And I'm sure most of you know, but there might be some of you guys who don't know that I wanted to inform you guys just so you kept up to date on what's going on within the community. But yesterday, a person who worked for Treyarch for 2 years is now an ex-employee who was a QA tester at Treyarch. A QA tester is someone who rigorously spends hours and hours a day playing the game non-stop, finding bugs, reporting bugs so that the team can work on fixing them. Now, this person made a huge Reddit thread explaining that they worked at Treyarch for over 2 years. It was their dream job, and they got fired from the studio without any warning yesterday from taking a lunch break when they shouldn't have. Now, I'm not going to go and basically side with anything here because I'm basically just bringing you the information as it is. I do think it's unfair if what that person said is genuinely correct about his circumstances on being fired, because obviously being fired from a job for no reason whatsoever is obviously a thing that sucks. It really does. But unfortunately, in the video games industry, this sort of thing does happen fairly often, and QA testing is widely known as one of the most sort of underwhelming jobs. It sounds like a dream job playing a game that you love for hours and hours and hours and hours every single day, but obviously it takes its toll on you, and that team of people are often sort of looked down upon as not very important compared to the people that actually make the game. Now, unfortunately, it's not just Treyarch as a studio. There are tons of studios that make games, and this sort of thing happens all the time. This behavior is not uncommon, that people can just be fired for absolutely no reason whatsoever, and the treatment of QA as a whole is not exactly a nice one. Now, if I was this person that got fired, I would too be very upset, but the way he went about it was probably a little bit too unprofessional. Now, I don't want to go into too much of like, oh, here's one side, here's the other, here's what I agree with. I'm more just laying it out for you guys so you can understand on a sort of business level that this person, if they are being absolutely genuine, and the stuff they leaked, by the way, was a ton of Easter egg steps for Easter eggs, minor Easter eggs and big ones in maps that we've not discovered. I'll get onto that in a little bit because I want to express my opinions on that and why I think it's a little bit sad that happened. But for all we know, it's just the viewpoints of one singular person. There is probably a lot more to this story, which the person hasn't specified in their Reddit thread, and which has now been deleted, by the way, as they're probably facing legal action from Activision. But like I said, a lot of people are just going off the words of one singular person's viewpoint. I definitely feel like there's a lot more to this in its core that we don't know about, and it's something which is a bit of a sketchy topic to really dive into any further than that. But this person, who also is a QA tester, has the knowledge of various small Easter eggs within Black Ops 4 Zombies that have yet to be discovered. Things which might have been changed over the last few weeks. So it's his job or her job to go in and basically check that these still function well in the game, and if not, report them so that they can be. And some of these Easter eggs were so small and so minor that these are things which would have taken months, if not years, to discover. Things which would have been very exciting for us Zombies community members to be able to find by ourselves, discover it, and be very excited by what we found. Now, these zombie developers have spent years and years and years developing these games, and also for putting all these sorts of little tiny Easter eggs in. So have years of work just spoiled like that is definitely not the right way to go about it. And I definitely think that this person definitely could have gone about this slightly different and maybe not have leaked all of these Easter eggs, because it basically dug a bigger hole for that person and also ruined a ton of surprises, not just for Easter eggs in the game right now, but for future content coming to the game, which I'm not going to be discussing in this video. And I was a bit disappointed as well hearing this sort of thing, because I want a surprise when it comes to this stuff. Like, I enjoy surprises, and for something that I love like Call of Duty Zombies, I want to be surprised in what Treyarch are doing with their next maps and what the story's happening, how they're going to change, what storyline they're going to use, what characters they're going to use, all that sort of thing. So for me personally, I was a little bit disappointed seeing that, and I personally thought that this person didn't need to go into this much specific detail and spoil all of the Easter eggs for us. Now, of course, some of you may think that this is a perfect retaliation, as Treyarch have given us a game which doesn't function as it should have on day one. And yes, I agree, the blue screen issues are absolutely unforgivable. Now, Treyarch have done a very good job in the last few weeks when it comes to patches to iron out a lot of blue screen issues. I personally have not had a blue screen on my game in about a week or so, and all the blue screens at the time were very specific to Easter egg crashes. And let's not even go into how frustrating it was during the initial hunts, having your Easter egg runs just ruined by blue screens. Like, that was not a great experience. But I don't think I need to be beating a dead horse anymore and telling Treyarch, fix the blue screens, because they obviously know that they are. They have already said that they are. They're tirelessly working on fixing this now, and it's more evident even more with even more recent patch updates that they've implemented technology now, so it's easier for them to track what caused the game crash and to be able to fix it. And I'm sure as much as they are just so frustrated by this whole experience, I want it to be fixed and sorted out as soon as possible. I want to say there's a beautiful game underneath all of the blue screens and all the crashes that we've had within the last month. I'm sure you can't deny that there is a great game here, and as a concept for a Black Ops Zombies game, this is the most ambitious and could be the best Black Ops Zombies game ever. It probably already is at this point. If you look past all of the blue screens and all the crashes, we have 4 zombie maps to play on day one, which is an incredible amount of content to have in one singular offering on day one. They didn't necessarily have to do that. They could have just saved some of the maps as future DLC and we would have been none the wiser about it. But we have 4 experiences which are as a combination of old storyline being continued in the best way possible and a new story which is at the moment a bit of a mystery because we don't know exactly where it's headed. But when it comes to, say, maps like Blood of the Dead for a particular example here, the storyline content within that map is phenomenal. It is a breathtaking story that you learn on that map, and the fact that we have an Easter egg ending as emotional as Blood of the Dead has created such an emotional response from all of us in the community that it really does a lot to tell you that Treyarch do create amazing stories, and we care about the story and this game mode that much that we reacted to the ending in that way, and that is quite incredible for them to do straight off the bat when it comes to releasing a brand new game. Now, of course, going for high rounds on these maps is obviously something which is an impossible task at me making this video at that moment in time, and the whole point of Zombies is to get to high rounds, so that's pretty unforgivable on Treyarch's behalf that it's impossible to get to the round 150 to get that classified Easter egg ending cutscene, and I think that whole thing was a little bit of a mess. I kind of expressed my thoughts about that in a previous video when I broke down the classified ending, and again, like I said at the start of the video, I don't really make these sort of videos, but I wanted to at least express my thoughts and opinions on it as and when that controversy was going down. When it comes to the amount of story content within these maps, the replay value, the boss fights, the just grand scale of these maps, it is really, really cool that we have so much content to enjoy. And like I said at the start, there's not really been any moments where I've actively hated Black Ops 4 Zombies. Like, I really, really like it. And I know that the game's only going to get better as time's gone on, because as with any Black Ops Zombies game, it just gets better when there's more maps and there's more content. I know for a fact that from the stuff Jason's spoken about in the past that we might see more game modes coming to Zombies. I've already seen Rush, and I hope that we see Grief. He's already hinted that we might see that again in the future. And all of that stuff still doesn't make up for the fact that it's unforgivable the game released in the state it has, but I don't think there's any point in me saying, Treyarch, fix the blue screens, because it's like beating a dead horse. At this rate, we know, and they know for a fact, that these blue screen issues are happening. They are more than aware of it. I'm sure they were the moment they started happening, and they are actively working on fixing them. And I think this is something which is so big of an issue, and there's so many minute things that can cause a crash, that in the recent updates, they revealed they put in a new technology which can track what caused the bug, which allows them to be able to get feedback and basically find out what caused the crash even quicker and more detailed than they could before, so that they can go ahead and fix it. And again, like I said, it's unforgivable the game releasing in the state it has, but there's no point like beating a dead horse about the state of the game, because it can only get better from now going forwards. Now, I have thought about this, and Treyarch are very set in their ways when it comes to how they communicate with us. And I got to thank Milo for the videos he's created in the last week or so about these issues, because of that, Treyarch are already starting to be a lot more open and honest and more detailed when it comes to what exactly they're changing with these patches for Zombies. They said they want to go in, give us all the gritty details, and we are more than happy for that. But I think there's still groundwork for more things to be done here to really get us back. And when I say us, I mean the majority of the community is still obviously with Treyarch, but for those that are just absolutely furious with the game and done for it, I think there are still some solutions that can be had here. Now, obviously, I don't want Treyarch to just go out and simply go, hey, you see this game developer? Be a bit more like them, because Treyarch, you know, they are very unique in what they do. The way that they deliver all of their story stuff, how they do the teasers, how they do the trailers, the marketing, when it leads up to release of a game, it's always unique and very, very exciting. And that's another reason why you just got to love Treyarch for the sort of weird things that they come up with. But when it comes to other developers, say Epic Games, for instance, or Overwatch, when it comes to stuff like that, they have members from the dev team that create dev blog updates, which go ahead and explain stuff in more detail. They also sometimes have roadmaps, which detail, you know, at some points in the future, this is the sort of thing you can expect us to go ahead and add into the game. Now, obviously, Zombies is a game full of mystery, where we don't really know what's going to happen next, and I like that, but I feel like, you know, it's time that we drop that act a little bit and just be a little bit more communicative, because if there's something like a roadmap, for instance, which doesn't necessarily tell us DLC or anything like that, there could be a big update coming in the next few weeks or something that's going to dramatically change the gameplay of XYZ, or we're prototyping a new mode which you might see in a month or so, and give some brief details on what that could be. Just something cool like that to get people excited. Whenever there's bugs in, say, a game like Fortnite, the Fortnite Twitter account instantly tweet out about a bug that's been reported, how they've changed the game to sort of cover that bug, and that they're working on fixing it. Because me personally, I appreciate Treyarch updating us with feedback and they're being more open on Reddit, but they don't necessarily always tweet or post on their Facebook or Instagram anything to do with these Reddit posts. So if you don't go on Reddit, you could easily miss these posts, and you'll have to go to a YouTuber or Twitter or something like that to find out your information. I think Treyarch should maybe have their own blog on their website detailing patch notes as well as Reddit, and hey, even some developer blog videos wouldn't go amiss either. Now, there's other features in the game that we've not quite seen yet. There's factions in Black Ops 4 Zombies, which Jason revealed during the reveal event in May. It's been a month and we've heard nothing about that. And I understand that there is a lot of content in Zombies, so much so that Jason didn't want to just reveal and release it all at once, because otherwise there wouldn't be necessarily a lot for them to reveal in the next coming months. It helps keep the game fresh, and that's a sort of mindset that a lot of other games are going through right now, where they're releasing content periodically, which is fine by me, but just anything about factions or any calling stuff would be appreciated, because they hyped up callings to be this big thing. And when it came down to it, it's just some face paints, and we've only had one so far. I mean, the game's been out a month, so I'm gonna give them some time. When it comes to factions, it sounded like a really big thing, because it's like almost like a group you join, like in a game like Skyrim, where it's gonna have narrative features which will change your experience a little bit. And when it comes to, say, the black market, people want to level up their tiers with Zombies gameplay. I know we got Blackout and we got multiplayer, and that unlocks stuff which you can use mainly in Blackout and multiplayer, but it would be nice to, you know, compensate for the zombie players as well that are putting in so much time into the game and they're not getting anything for it. Now, the whole main point of me making this video is just to drive a little bit of positivity back into the community, and there's a lot of good things that we can take from the game right now that we can enjoy and play. And like I said, deep down, this is a really, really good game, and that's something which you can't deny and something that you can't forget either. And as time goes on, I'm sure the game's only just going to get better. I mean, it has to. There's no way it can't. I have a lot of faith in Treyarch, and I'm sure all the developers are tirelessly working around the clock to make sure that this game is as bug-free as possible. But my main reason for making this video is I saw my good friend and fellow Zombies YouTuber JC Backfire post a Twitter video about how he feels mentally drained and feels negative himself, that negative feeling is just there in the Zombies community right now, and everyone's at each other's throats because of just how crazy this whole situation has blown up. And I just want to remind you that there is a lot of positive things to take from the game that we can all enjoy right now that can really help overshadow the negative things, and things are only going to get better from here. But I'd love to know your thoughts down below on what you feel of Black Ops 4 Zombies right now. I don't want this to be a rant. I just want the positive vibes, man. I just want there to be a positive community where we're all making fun content, we're coming up with crazy cool theories, and we're enjoying the game. That's what it all comes down to. And as a Zombies YouTube content creator, I just want us to all enjoy the game. Like, let's just have a good time. If you enjoyed this video in any way, a like rating would be very much appreciated. If you agreed with the different ideas that Treyarch could implement to, you know, further forward, just get the positive vibes out there in the community and get us back on track, because we all love this game so much, and if we didn't, then this community wouldn't be so vocal in their thoughts. So that's just a very important factor to take in here. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts on it down below in the comment section, and I'll see you for another video very, very soon. Bye.